Afternoon, everybody. This is Brittany Kuhlman, and this is my Module 12 case study for the budget debacle. So for our summary of the case, we're talking about Briardale Elementary School is a population of about 600 students from kindergarten through 5th grade. We have Principal Carl Santos, who thinks he knows how to run a school, including managing the budget. This is a very diverse community, and Briardale also serves as the meeting center. They host concerts, any town meetings, and the regional spelling bee. The school district has fundraising competitions between the school. They have foundations that are ran by parents. Those parents are elected to the foundation. Mr. Bailey is the president of the Briardale Foundation. He is new to the community and to the school district. He was very motivated with wanting to fundraise the most money possible, and he wanted to use it for innovative curriculum programs, including the existing ones of art and music. Mr. Barely knows another school's foundation president, which was Mr. Morley. They went to school together, so he wanted to have a competition between those two schools, and he decided to have a raffle ticket fundraiser where people would buy the raffle tickets, and then in exchange, some people might win some cash. The day of the fundraiser, somebody tipped off the sheriff, and the sheriff did arrest Mr. Barely during the fundraiser for a misdemeanor, and he was convicted. Mr. Santos and the Briardale Foundation were embarrassed because the events were then for the community in the newspaper. So some legal or ethical issues. There's no proof of a conversation from the school district or from Mr. Santos about policies on fundraising. Mr. Santos gave Mr. Bailey roles on the foundation, how he should meet with the school curriculum committee to be about programs, but nothing really about like these are fundraisers you can have, ones you can't have. Also, Mr. Barely knows Mr. Morley and wanted to make it a challenge, so it became personal between him and Mr. Morley, and it was less about the students. And then also, a tipster knew something about the fundraiser, knew that it wasn't right, but school personnel didn't understand that it wasn't correct, so that could be a little challenging. So due to lack of education on fundraising laws and regulations, Briardale Elementary, along with Principal Santos, held an illegal fundraiser which ended in a criminal conviction and loss of supplementary money for extra curriculum. What are the facts that we know? So we know that the community supports the fundraising efforts for extra curriculum. We know that each school within the district has their own foundation for those fundraising. Briardale is used for most of the community events, so a lot of the community knows about Briardale Elementary or they've been inside the school. The foundation can make suggestions on what the money goes to, but at the end of the day, Principal Santos would have the final say. Briardale's foundation president knows another school's foundation president. And then after the raffle was decided, there was no pushback from the school or from the district about it being illegal. What are the unknown facts? So who is in charge of the foundations at the district level? Are any school district employees on the foundation, or is it only parents that aren't involved or employed by the school? How do members of the foundation get approved to their role or appointed to their role? Are they elected? Does the principal choose? Do they go through the school board? Are the members of the foundation given training on the laws and regulations for fundraising? Do they get to go through a seminar once they're elected? What else is that foundation in charge of? What state is Briardale Elementary located in, so they know specific laws regarding fundraising for their state? And then were the raffle tickets bought at the event or prior to the fundraiser? Did they make money off of those raffle tickets, or were people buying the raffle tickets as they came into the event and then they were drawn? So if we look at our information, the conflict at hand can be damaging to stakeholders who support Briardale Elementary as well as staff members of the school and the school district members. Um, they now have a criminal conviction coming from their school when it comes to illegal fundraising. Individuals who have an important stake in the outcome include our community members who spend a lot of time with the school, who are putting money into the school. Staff members of the school might feel embarrassed for working with the school after this has happened. And then also the students are losing out on that extra money for curriculum. I believe that the school superintendent, the school board, and the school attorney should be consulted on the situation, because not only did they have an illegal fundraiser go on in their building, Mr. Bailey also was convicted of a crime for hosting a fundraiser for the school. So I do think that they need to consult those other people just to make sure they have their ducks in a row, and that they are ready for any type of litigation. I do think that more information should be given about the situation, such as, does the school district already have policies on fundraising? Um, what is the process of those elected officials in the foundation? Like, what are they going through, or are they just thrown into that position? But with the information provided, I do think there is enough to make a logical decision. When it comes to identifying the options, there are four. So the first one is doing nothing. We can leave Mr. Bailey in his position as the president of the foundation and just move on and hope that people kind of forget about the situation, maybe provide him with a little bit of training, and do better next time. Our second option is going to be returning the money from the raffle tickets that were purchased, meet with Mr. Bailey and talk about the goals of the school. Remember that we are trying to have the best interest of our students, not beating a friend in a competition, and then having a different way of approving fundraisers. Option 3, return the money made from the tickets purchased, make a formal policy with the school board, superintendent, and the foundation, along with school principals, about fundraising so that all the schools have the same policy. Allow training for not only members of the foundation, but also for school personnel to avoid approving another fundraiser that is potentially illegal. And then our last option would be return the money, again, made from the tickets purchased. We're going to remove Mr. Bailey from his position as president, appoint a new person who has been approved by the school board, have that person go through extensive training, and try to set up another legal foundation to gain the community's trust. So, for our pros and cons of our options, option 1, again, was doing nothing. There's really no pros to that. I believe that most of the community would be upset that no action was taken. Mr. Bailey might be happy with that, other than he was arrested. He still gets to keep his position. The con would be the community is left with questions, and can they still trust the school district after that? For option 2, speaking with Mr. Bailey about illegal fundraising activities and then returning the money, a pro. The money is given back to the school stakeholders, and then we're going to do what schools do. We're going to educate. So Mr. Bailey's going to learn about fundraising policies. Con is leaving Mr. Bailey in that position of the president, and it might not look good. It might look like we're not doing enough. For option 3, returning the money and then making formal policies, a pro, the school community gets their money back again, and then they're going to see that the school district is making a change so that this situation can't happen again. A con, Mr. Bailey is still in his position. Community members might not trust that he won't try to conduct another illegal fundraiser underneath the school district's nose. And then option 4, removing Mr. Bailey from his position. So the pro is that the community is seeing a sense of responsibility from the school. They are taking him out of that position. They're going to elect a new person, and they're going to train them properly on the laws and regulations on fundraising. A con could be that Mr. Barely might be upset that he wasn't trained about it, and now he has a criminal record because of it. Um, so would is he going to pursue litigation on the school district? And then also, would the school have enough time to secure the funds with another fundraiser after all of this has gone through? So, for my best option, I believe it would be a combination of option 3 and 4. I do think Mr. Barely should be removed from his position. I do think the money from purchased raffle tickets should be returned to the community so that way the fund, if they have a separate fundraiser, it can be obtained legally. I do think we should elect a new foundation president, and I think that that should go through multiple people. It shouldn't just be you are the new president. I think that it should be an interview process of why they want to be the president and how they're going to make the foundation trustworthy of the community again. Then, as a school in a school district, we're going to begin writing a formal policy, establish training for the new foundation leaders on fundraising as well as school personnel. And then we're going to show accountability for our fundraising mistake by doing these steps. Implementing the decision. So, what I would do is address the concerns of the community by taking responsibility for the fundraising mistake. We're going to go through a new process of electing a new person to the foundation president. We can have like a town hall meeting to return the money from the previous fundraiser, and then also provide the community with how our school is going to train the next person on the laws and regulations. Have that new person at that meeting so they can answer questions from the community as well as how they are going to make sure they are safeguarding the school with their fundraising money. And then we will start writing a formal policy to implement into the school board policies. And then again, just continuous communication with the community to gain the trust back. For my assignment, it's going to align to the standard by allowing me to review information provided, then reflecting on that information to make a decision that will reflect the future success of not only the staff and students of the school, but also the community. This assignment was relevant to my learning because all schools will have fundraisers. It's important as a future leader to understand the laws and regulations of fundraising to avoid having an illegal fundraiser and losing the trust of not only your staff but also your community. After completing this assignment, I think it's important that our administration is given ample training on fundraising. I think if Mr. Santos was given proper training on what was considered illegal fundraising when Mr. Barely brought forward that raffle ticket fundraiser, he would have said, no, we can't do that because it is considered illegal within our policies. I also think that there should be like a two-factor verification. If a principal is going to approve a fundraiser, cool, let's send it on to the next step, which could be the superintendent or the school board. And I think that would help avoid illegal activities and litigation. And that's it.